Hello gamer fans, I stand here before you today with a brand new video, and before you ask, no, the title isn't a misprint or clickbait or an April Fool's joke or anything like that. No, this is a legit video of me explaining why the Silent Hill HD collection on the PS3 is the best version of Silent Hill ever created, even better than the Enhanced Edition mod on the computer. That mod is a pile of fucking dung heap, along with every other version of Silent Hill 2. Although the PC version in its original state isn't that bad, but anyone who disagrees with me is a fucking bongo bear who doesn't know jack shit about video games. You see this? That's what you are, you fucking bongo bear. That's why you need me to form all your opinions for you, which I'm more than happy to do. Anyways, it's clear to me that everyone who talks bad about the HD collection has never played Silent Hill before. People are trying to act like there was this huge community who loved Silent Hills 1 through 4. No, there wasn't. These games barely sold anything. They sold like 14 and 5/8 of a copy combined between all four of them. And that's why Team Silent got dissolved, because they couldn't create games that could turn a fucking profit. But thankfully, Konami finally got some sense when they decided they wanted to bring these games to the 7th generation consoles, because they gave it off to a studio that actually knew what the hell they were doing, and the original developers agreed. That whole thing on the internet about the original team denouncing the collection and saying it's the worst version ever, that's all fake. The original developers love the HD collection. In fact, some of them have even started a campaign on the internet that's been going on for a decade now to destroy every copy of this game that isn't on the PS3. It's that fucking good. You kids should have seen it back in the day. The stock market was going absolutely bananas because they knew this game was going to sell like 5 trillion copies in the first 2 seconds. And every investor from Joe's Pizza in New York City all the way to Microsoft and even BlackRock were investing every fucking penny they could throw at it because they knew the stock of this thing was going to skyrocket all the way to Jupiter and back. All was good and right in the universe until some fucking chump named Guy Seehey, the original voice actor for James Sutherland, got all pissed off when he found out the game was getting re-released and he wasn't going to get paid the gazillions of dollars he thought he was entitled to. Even though he knows voice actors only get paid once and that's it, but apparently he was hurting for money real bad. So he gathered up the 9 whole people that bought copies on the PS2 and a couple of disgruntled developers who worked on the originals and couldn't accept the fact that they just failed as human beings, and they started this giant smear campaign, spreading a whole bunch of false information and clever market manipulation, most likely helped up by some super advanced Forerunner AI. And it worked because there seems to be this precedent that the HD collection is like the worst version to play, and it's fucking not. And I'm gonna show you why. So pay attention, kids, and get ready to learn something truthful for the first time in your life, because this is why Silent Hill HD Collection on the PS3 is the best version of Silent Hill ever. Reason number 1, it's on the PS3. The PS3 is the greatest game console ever made since the Sega 32X. I mean, that thing was a fucking Goliath all on its own, still able to outpower the best computers today. And that's why none of the competitors can match it. PlayStation, Super Nintendo, Sega Dreamcast, the Amiga Game Gear, none of them could fucking touch the 32X. That thing still sells out to this day, every Christmas at KB Toys. I own like 5 of them, and I've worn out at least 3 because I played them too much. But can you really blame me? That thing had the best version of Doom ever. You could hook it up to the Sega Saturn Online thingamabob, it had support for like 40 players, best multiplayer ever, especially Capture the Flag and Gimme a Drink Bartender. But anyways, the first thing that makes the Silent Hill HD collection the best version of Silent Hill ever is the simple fact that it's on the PS3. Because that triple is the most ballin' system ever. I mean, why do you think the developers made a patch only for this version and not the 360, huh? Yeah, we're going here again, folks, because it's simple. The PS Triple is so much better. PS3 takes a piss on the 360, chews it up, spits it out, then walks away without a doubt. But I mean, like, the PS3 technology is so much better. It's got, like, the best RAM and stuff, and the cell processor, oh my god, that thing is so goddamn good. I don't think anything will ever be able to top this divine piece of technology. It's a really unique processor. It's like 8 processors working in one, which is what really gives it the magic. I've seen it. It's like 8 microchips floating in a vat of gel or something like that. It kind of looks like this. Holy shit, nothing like this was ever created before, and I don't think it ever will be again, and Sony made an absolutely stupid decision to ditch that and go with a low-end PC build for the PlayStation 4 and 5. That's why they can't bring things like PlayStation Home and Dust 514 back, because it's impossible. They don't have the cell processor. But anyways, the fact that the hardware is so damn good ties into the second reason. Reason number 2, the fog. Okay, so the 7 people who bought the original Silent Hill 2 can't stop having a fucking orgasm over the goddamn fog, and they claim it, like, adds so much depth and atmosphere and all this other hokey-pokey bullshit to the game, and I'm like, are you people fucking high? I couldn't play Silent Hill 2 because I couldn't fucking see what the hell was in front of me until it was right in my goddamn face, and then all of a sudden, boom, I died. Like, the original version of Silent Hill 2 was one of the worst third-person shooters ever made, because that's what it is, by the way, a third-person shooter. It's not survival horror, because there's no survival here. You're not gathering resources, you don't have to worry about food or water, you don't have to keep the socialization meter up like you do in The Sims. There's nothing like that here. You just run around shooting monsters until you reach the other side of town, and then boom, the game's over. And this stupid fog. Holy shit, it's like a nightclub's fog machine broke and puked all over town. And okay, I understand the reason why. It's because the PS2 couldn't do draw distance very well when it came to 3D technology. Aside of things like Ninja Gaiden and Star Fox, the PlayStation 2 was not built for 3D tech. And so, I appreciate the developers trying at the very least. That's more than I can say for any other developer in this day and age, but when it came at the cost of sacrificing the draw distance to being like 2 centimeters in front of you, no thanks. Worst shooter I've ever played, but thankfully on the PS3, we were able to push that god-awful fog back, and you can actually see what the fuck is in front of you. Reason number 3, better voice acting. Oh boy, the voice acting. Again, another thing which the 9-hole people who love Silent Hill 2 swear by. They act like the voice acting in this game is the greatest achievement of mankind.
I got a letter. The name on the envelope said, Mary. My wife's name.
Yeah, that same voice acting delivered with all the emotional range of a brick wall by people who never spent even a single day in acting school. You know, there's only 2 types of people who could actually love this voice acting. People who have never heard voice acting before, and retards. And I'll bet you every fan of the original Silent Hill 2 falls into at least 2 of those categories. But you know what? That's all in the past now. Because the new developer got some people who actually knew how to act, including Troy Baker. And I mean, he alone makes this version the best. You didn't even have to fix anything else. You could have just copy-pasted Troy Baker's voice acting over whoever the other guy was, and you would have magically fixed the game right then and there. Every line is delivered with such perfect emotion and gravity that by the time I was done playing this game, I was convinced that James Sutherland was either my father, my brother, or a cousin that visits all the time, and I fully expected for the remainder of that day to get a visit from him, because I felt like I was such a part of his world. I felt like I was a part of his life. That's how good this voice acting is. It perfectly illustrated the horror atmosphere of Silent Hill, and speaking of horror, the developers decided to really up the ante with one critical improvement that, again, people were complaining about. Reason number 4, the soft locking. You know, a lot of people see this as something that needs fixing, but it's not, okay? This isn't a bug or a glitch, it's a feature. Think about it. What's scarier than wandering through the fog-drenched streets of Silent Hill only to have the game suddenly freeze on you? It's like the game is saying, hey, you're not safe here. Anything could happen. It adds to the tension, the unease, the sense of impending doom that permeates every corner of Silent Hill. You never know when the game just might decide to shut you down, just to remind you that you're not in control here. You're at the mercy of forces beyond your understanding, and they're not in a generous mood today. Anyone who cries about the soft locking in the HD collection doesn't understand what Silent Hill is all about. Okay, it's not supposed to be a smooth, flawless ride. It's supposed to be unsettling, unpredictable, and there's nothing more unsettling and unpredictable than losing the last 20 minutes of progress because the game decided it didn't want to show up to work anymore. And this goes for all the other things that people are supposedly having problems with. You know, the distorted and missing sound effects and music, the textures that flicker and won't even load in. Guess what, folks? This falls perfectly in line with what Silent Hill is supposed to be. A town where reality itself is warped and twisted. So why should any of this work perfectly? That doesn't make any sense, and Hijinks Studios understood this when they remastered these games. So you know what? If you're bothered by this, then stick to playing Candy Crush or whatever other mindless garbage you comfort yourself with, because this is horror done right, and if you disagree with me, you're a fucking bongo bear. Reason number 5, the Enhanced Edition mod. Ah yes, the Enhanced Edition mod for Silent Hill 2 on PC. What a laughable attempt to fix something that wasn't broken in the first place. People, the PC port of Silent Hill 2 was almost perfect. The only thing it didn't have was the voice acting from the new cast. Besides that, there was nothing wrong with it. It didn't need some pretentious fucking bongo bears swooping in because they wanted to play hero and feel good about themselves. But oh no, leave it to them to think, oh, we know better than everybody else. Yeah, sitting in their ivory towers, sipping on their fancy lattes from Starbucks, stroking their neckbeards, convinced that they're the chosen ones, the master race of gamers. Bunch of fucking losers. Well, let me tell you something, PC Master Race. You're not fooling anyone. You think that just because you can tweak a few settings in the configuration file that you're somehow better than us console users? Think again. You're nothing but a bunch of stuck-up snobs who wouldn't know a good game if it bit you in the ass. These so-called improvements only ruin the purity of the original. Widescreen support? Who the fuck has a widescreen TV nowadays? Updated textures? It looks fine as it is. Console controller support? Are you fucking kidding me? The keyboard and mouse can kick a console controller's ass any day of the week, and you fucking know it. Anyone who thinks they can improve upon perfection clearly has their head lodged up their ass. But go ahead, PC gamers, keep patting yourselves on the back and pretending like you're the saviors of gaming, but just remember this. While you're busy modding your games into oblivion, the rest of us will be enjoying Silent Hill the way it was meant to be played, on a good old-fashioned console with no need for your smug, self-righteous enhancements. So there you have it, folks. Anybody who still wants to harp on the HD collection after watching this video simply doesn't know what the hell they're talking about, because I've provided irrefutable factual evidence that the HD collection on the PS3 is the undisputed king of Silent Hill. For too long, morons everywhere have spread lies and false information about this masterpiece, but today, we've set the record straight. This is the definitive version of Silent Hill, and if any of you care about your lives and want to stop being so miserable all the time, you'll shout it from the rooftops, destroy every other copy of Silent Hill, and embrace the absolute perfection that is the HD collection. And as for Guy Seehee, don't be such a bongo bear, okay? You're not owed $5 gazillion in residuals. In fact, you're not owed anything, so stop whining about it. So there. The truth has been spoken. Now go forth, everyone, and spread the gospel of Silent Hill. Your future depends on it. Alright kids, thanks for watching. If you're already subbed to the channel or are about to, be sure to hit the bell so you get notified when I post a video, hit the like button, and give me some feedback. I don't care if it's good or bad.